Thank you for the introduction and thank you for providing this opportunity to discuss about the patient record, especially in the community pharmacy. And just to clear that, I'll be focusing about patient records in the community pharmacy, and that's especially in the southern Pakistan, that is Sindh, the existing structure, how it is going, and how far we can go with this. So, patient records, the road to better patient adherence, experience, and outcomes. I just want to disclose that I have no financial relationship with anything, with anyone, and I will not be discussing anything related to off level use of any drug. There are 4 points of the discussion. The first would be patient record. Most of us are already aware of this. The second would be patient record in community pharmacy. And then I'll be discussing mainly about patient record keeping in Pakistan, especially in the community pharmacy, how we are doing it, how it has been done formally, and how far it can go. Then I'll be sharing a few examples, not especially related to the topic, but related to the community pharmacy and the real life examples that we have come across. So, starting with introduction to the patient records, most of us are aware that patient records, including anything and everything that is related to patient medical history. So, as by the book definition, patient records are all details about the patient history, clinical findings, diagnostic test results, pre and post operative care, patient progress, patient past medication, and current medication order. It has everything related to patient. So, if you talk about electronic medical records, the records are in the soft copy, and we are seeing that the electronic medical or electronic health records have every information that is available in a healthcare organization or a polyclinic that has previous records of the patient and existing medications. The records, as I said, includes multiple things which can be further divided into components of the EMR, that is components of the EMR, electronic medication records. We're saying that dermographics, it includes personal information as basic as the name of the patient. Then we have different drug allergies जिसमें आपके पास you have जी reactions and the reactions, if the reaction is a skin rash reaction or the reaction is a severe reaction. We also have medical history that includes any disease state, procedures that have been performed, surgical procedures or other interventions, and the previously prescribed medications that the patient have taken in previously or is continuously on the medications. And it also includes the current prescription that you usually get in the CPOE, computerized physician order entry procedures. In that process, you get the soft copy of the current prescribed medications. Now, if you say first of all, community pharmacy. If we talk about community pharmacy, for today, I will be talking about the community pharmacy that has no link with any hospital or healthcare system. We are talking about a medical store in layman term that is situated in any area and that has no link with any lab, polyclinic, or hospital. When we talk about hospital, we have a vast data available and we use that to some extent. But when we talk about community pharmacy, we usually don't have any data. And in Pakistan, we even don't give a cash memo or we call it a bill invoice on the patient name. The patient just come over the counter, he gets his medications and leave. So that is current scenario, or we can say this is the scenario for past 2 decades, and it's now gradually changing with the induction of proper community pharmacy chains. We have multiple chains that are coming across in Karachi, Pakistan. We have a better picture in Punjab and other parts of the Pakistan, but in Sindh, there is nothing like this. So, patient medication records, if you talk about the developed countries, they use the data for multiple features. Same can be done here, but we have to start from the very basic. Like if I have to say this, that we need to take the name and number of the patient. Now, if you are in front of me, I have to ask why do we have to take name and number of the patient? How can a name and number can assist in community pharmacy? I'll be discussing this in my presentation. In next few slides, I have very few slides to discuss, and I'll try to explain as much as I can explain. Now, record keeping in Pakistan, as I said, in Karachi, in Pakistan, talking about community pharmacy that is situated in a local area that has no link with any clinical facility like hospital. So I am excluding the pharmacies or outreach pharmacies that are operated by a Aga Khan system that are well established and they have links and they have the data available. I'm talking about a medical store, a community pharmacy. For instance, if you or me or anyone else want to start a pharmacy, so how he can use the data and why it is important to keep the records even if you are operating as an individual. So this is a picture from a local medical store. A simple register, a notebook. The purpose to keep this register is to keep the patient engaged, make sure that the medications are available when the patient arrives. If I can read out for you, the top line has every 15th and 30th. That means the patient will be coming on every 15th and 30th of the month. Then there are a few information: the patient contact number, customer ID is a bit advanced one. We are seeing the contact number and the name. The shopkeeper will look at the details of this notebook. He will make sure that he have all the medications, since Mr. XYZ will be coming to pick the medication on 15th, and by doing this he ensures that he satisfies his patient, the patient do not have a bad experience, and uh, he has no loss to the business or no loss sale. How we can improve it? If you have to start with this is even, in fact this is even good, since if you may recall I said we don't even give a bill invoice. So if we start with this, even this can make difference. For instance, uh, talking about how we are doing it here, and again just let me explain you, this is very basic data, very basic thing that we are doing. There are places to travel, there are a distance to travel. This is just a start of things that will eventually develop in Pakistan, inshallah, and we will have a difference in the outcomes of the patient therapy. So we are saying that take customer data, name, number, address, emergency address, XYZ, demographics. Issue him a number. As we give in hospital, we give him a medical. If you visit a good facility, you get a medical record number, and then anytime you visit again, you just have to give that medical record number or a number with which hospital has tagged your medical record. So issue him a unique customer number or medical record number. Offer him free services. At times, especially when there is nothing like this, and you ask someone, kindly give your number, they will be hesitant to give you the data. So offer them services for which they are compelled to give your number. So offer them free services. Now, if it, I said this is just beginning, and you can go beyond and beyond and beyond. So integrating with the labs and clinics, if you develop a chain community pharmacy, you are operating a polyclinic type or a lab within your shop in shop concept, means you having a community pharmacy in which you have a lab counter. So now you get the opportunity to integrate the lab data with the medication data. So you are increasing your data pool. And being a pharmacist, we know that how important the data is. Impact of record keeping. I discussed 3 points. I said taking patient name, customer data that includes name, number, address, any other emergency number. The second point was issue him a medical record number or a unique customer ID number. This customer ID is tagged with this record, and whenever he comes up with that ID, you have information available. The third thing is, I said it is difficult to get the data. If you simply ask, give your number, the patient will not be giving it easily. So you offer them services, and that for those free services they will be giving you the, and that's actually we are doing it here. We are giving them free of services, and we ask them that we are needing your number and further details to offer you this service, and then they actually give you easily. So if you have a data, if you know the patients, you know that you have a chronic disease patients and they will be taking medications for their lifetime, you can actually record them, you can refill, you can offer them refill, and you have the data available. This is important for the patient as well as for your business. I'll be talking about both the things. So this is important. How it is important? For instance, the patient have taken medication for 15 days, and then he do not come back after 15 days. You give him a reminder call that says your refill time is here, you are not here, and he tells that I have a medication available like 4 more days. So you can counsel him that you just took medications once daily and you took for 2 weeks, and now you are consuming it in 3 weeks. That means that the patient is not adherent. The patient is not adherent. Here in Pakistan, there are few people that they feel like आज सर में दर्द नहीं हो रहा, there is no headache, my blood pressure is normal today, so let's skip the medication. But we know that there are physiological changes. The patients who are not chronic or who are newly diagnosed with the blood pressure or other diseases have more feeling about the disease, and gradually the body develops physiological changes, and then they that's the normal case for them. They do not actually feel that their blood pressure is actually high, and they start skipping the medication, and that can lead to severe consequences. So taking, I said, taking name and number is important. This is in fact after 3 months of the starting of the Vago or any other community chain. Back in 2018, we had a recall, a worldwide recall, and then Valsartan with the carcinogenic agent. Now just tell me that somebody has taken 3 months medication or 2 months medications from you, and you do not have any contact number. If you wish to recall, you cannot recall. When it is recalled, then it is important that the chain management is important. For instance, the manufacturer will be asking distributor to recall, distributor will ask the retail chain to recall, and the retail chain should ask the patient that whatever the medication you have left, you should come back and give it back to us. But if you do not have the data or the contact number available, you cannot recall the medication, and that happens in countries, in underdeveloping countries, in countries where we do not have a community pharmacy setup, where the patient is given medication is given with no bill or no record. You cannot call back. So this was the first time that we utilized. After this, we have another recall, but this was the first time that we called patients, and they were like, "Why are you calling us back?" We informed them that this medication is being recalled for your safety, and that was the time the patient realized, oh, this is important. So free services and patient records. As I said, that it is difficult to get patient name and number without offering them something. So you can offer them free blood pressure test, free sugar test, free body mass index test. Now, if you see that blood pressure device is one-time cost, again, blood body mass index device is one-time cost. Sugar strip may have a minimal cost that you can bear with. Uh, you will get the data, and now with this data, what we are doing, we are getting multiple diagnosis. We are getting multiple information. A lot of patient ask that a lot of patients ask that we want to check blood pressure. We are not a patient, but we just want to check the blood pressure. Or we just want to check blood sugar. Since it's very kindly uh, do this for us. And from that initial test, you got to know that their blood pressure or sugar is on a higher side. And being an educated person, being a pharmacist, or working at the forefront, you can guide them about that. Make a chart, go visit a doctor, make a chart, and come back to us. Get it checked at different time intervals before me. If it's sugar, then before meal and after meal, and you get to know that they are a diabetic or they are a hypertensive patient. They have the disease, but they were unaware of it. So You get the data, you get the information, and you get the patient as well. You got the customer actually. If I am to think about the business perspective, you got a customer actually. He was not a patient, he wasn't choosing any medication, and now he is diagnosed with a chronic ailment that is going to live with him for the rest, him or her for the rest of the life. Most importantly, you saved the life because he was unaware of the disease. He was not getting any medication for the disease, and that could have severe impact on its body, on its lifestyle modification. So you guided him, started with a name and number. For that name and number data, you offered him something free. In that something free, you offered him a free diagnosis or a quality of life check, and you got a patient as well. You saved a life as well. And that's how we can interlink a lot of things. This is also true for the patients that are diagnosed with the disease. So a lot of patients are taking medications and not visiting doctors. When you check the data, you see the prescription, you have the prescription, you see that they are taking medication, but still uh, the range of the blood pressure or the sugar is not in the in the limit or in the control. As for the hypertensive patient, it should be with the treatment option. So you advise them, if it's HbA1c, if it's sugar, you advise them HbA1c, and you see in the past 3 months, 4 month history of the disease management. You offer them a better lifestyle modification, or you offer them, or you ask them to visit a doctor. That's how you can help them. Now, interaction monitoring. This is happening in the whole the world, but here we do not have. For instance, I have written two things here: fill and refills. Uh, both are different terms, but are linked to the medication prescription. The fill means the first time the patient is coming to you. So, if we have a pharmacist who is well educated, experienced, and can actually identify interactions while looking a prescription, he can identify interactions or can monitor interactions at the time of fills. But if the patient is if the pharmacist is new or he's learning, and there are interactions that they are rare interactions that are not normally known or we do not remember, then you have the data to review, to check, to use different tools and make a better refill. Make a better refill. When I say a better refill, that then I mean that you can utilize the data. For instance, Mr. Masood has come to your pharmacy. He has got a prescription. He got it filled from you. You offered him a free blood pressure or blood sugar, anything else, and got his details. You saved the data, and now you know that the patient is taking blood pressure and sugar medications. He will be needing it after a month or a 15 days time. You make a record of a refill customer data, and you call him if he do not come back. In between those 15 days, what you can do is you can actually analyze the prescription. You can actually analyze each individual medication for its drug interaction, for its drug food interaction, for its counseling point. So when the patient is coming or the customer is coming for refill, you will have a better understanding. You may have a digital customized leaflet for him. You have information as may be required in the native language, Urdu, English, Hindi, whatever may be the language you may use for the patient benefit. So you make a customized leaflet based on that prescription. You give it to him. You have added a lot to the prescription, a lot of meaning to the prescription, a lot of meaning to your existence. You have justified your existence, and this will have a major impact on the customer as well. The patient will have, for instance, if a patient is taking medication but is not following a diet or is using something that is interacting with the medication, then the patient will not have the desirable outcomes. So if you just take the number, save the prescription, and then analyze it in the time, and educate the patient at the time of refill, you are adding to the therapy. You are adding value to the therapy. Patient record. I have I initially discussed that a patient is coming to your pharmacy taking medication for 2 weeks, and then you see that he is not coming after 2 weeks. You called him and you got to know that he still have medication left with him for a week maybe. So you got to know that the patient is non-adherent. You being a healthcare educator, you being a pharmacist, frontline dealer, you will be guiding him that how important it is to take the medications. You have the data available, you can guide about the disease and the outcomes of the disease, long term and short term outcomes of the disease if not managed properly. So he'll, it's about realization. You need to make him realize that how important it is to become adherent to your therapy. This is the data I have given a reference. In last, it is saying that young people are more non-adherent to the therapy. They are more likely to take it casual, that आज बुखार नहीं हो, आज सर में दर्द नहीं हो रहा, आज ठीक हो गया होगा, आज जरूरत नहीं है मेडिकेशन की. So we see that as we grow older, we become more cautious about health. We do not take it casually. So you have the data available, and then when you start taking details, you start offering refills, and you get to know that you can make your own data about your local population. You can save the data, and obviously with the consent of the patient or the customer, you can use that data for multiple purposes, as we will be discussing in the next slide. So utilization of the community data, obviously after written consent or the verbal consent of the customer. You can use, if you have the data, for instance, I said I talk about basic things. The first one was name and number. The second was offering a medication record ID or the customer ID. The third was taking support of free services to offer to get the data, and utilization of that data for the refill or for the community. How we can utilize the data for community, provincial and national health programs optimization. For instance, you are offering a blood pressure service, you have a data available that is saying that uh, A, B, C disease have certain percentage of prevalence in this country or in this city. Now, you are working in a population, and you got to know that the data is different from what you are getting from at the city level. So you got to know that your area or your XYZ Gulshan Iqbal Fla or Shah Faisal colony have certain this population, that certain percentage is coming to me, and out of the percentage, this much people have high blood pressure or high sugar. You can actually use that data to a broader level, and then ask provincial or national health programs to optimize the budgeting. You can rationalize the medication utilization. You are working in a community where randomly prescriptions are coming from clinics uh, where we do not have any medication utilization. In hospitals, we all know that there is drug utilization review and medication utilization reviews that actually help in forecasting the uh, procurement of the medication or controlling antimicrobial resistance. So if you are working in a community and you got to know that medications are not being handled properly or are being prescribed irrationally, then you can use the data and utilize that data to discuss for the betterment of the profession and the community in whole. Now, contributing to in controlling antimicrobial resistance. In Pakistan, it is pretty easy as to get a toffee from a shop. So you can get the antibiotic medication without any prescription, without any history, without being asked a single question. Or at times, you actually go and ask the kaka that uh, I have sore throat. You'll get a levofloxacin or anything like that, azithromycin. So when you are standing there, you will be making a difference. You will be contributing in controlling the antimicrobial resistance by limiting the use of these medications. You will be controlling by limiting the use of medications that have tendency for abuse. You will be controlling the use of narcotics medications. Similarly, like in the Babu, the next step we are going to take is immunization and vaccination programs within the pharmacies. You can promote vaccination services. You can promote each and every each and every vaccination program that is coming from the government, just like uh, if through EPI, Extended Program for Immunization, a government body that comes up with different vaccination or immunization schedules. So you can promote them. You can simply place the standee, or you can collaborate with EPIs for this to provide the service at your community, since EPI centers are operating in the morning timing and community pharmacy is open till about late in the evening. So you can actually collaborate with them, offer them that you will be providing these services after 3 p.m. or 4 p.m. till midnight at your pharmacy, so as to reach the maximum population. Saving life at a community pharmacy. This is a real example. I talk about three services: free blood pressure, free sugar, free body mass index. We are talking about Johor area in Karachi. We were offering a free service, that is a free blood pressure monitoring service. The patient was a hypertensive patient. He was taking medications, but none of the medication was for controlling the rhythm of the heart. As we checked the blood pressure was quite normal, uh, a bit on the lower side, but the pulse was 34. As soon as we saw the pulse, we asked him that, are you taking any medications, any other medications that you haven't bought from us? We discussed with him, are you sleepless or something else? Are you athletic? The question that must be asked from athlete, as if you know that you are an athlete, then you may have a better control of your heart rate and you can operate at a lower heart rate. But there was nothing relevant to that, or nothing was justifying that lower heart rate. So we immediately asked him that you should see a doctor, a cardiac specialist for this. He luckily he took that advice seriously. He went to Taba Heart Hospital on the same day. He got admitted. He got a pacemaker, and then we got to know after 15 days when he visited us. He just entered the pharmacy and was praying for all of us that you have saved my life. So that is one example. We have a lot of examples of the medication reactions and ADRs that we deal daily. But all of it is possible only with the patient record and patient data, patient interaction. If we simply start dispensing the medications, we cannot contribute anything to the therapy. That's all. I have references in last slide you can use to review the detailed documentation. Thank you.